That's lovely. I've got to make sure the volume isn't too loud though. Just because I streamed something other than Formula 1 yesterday. Alright, let me make sure the volume's all in check. Should be good. Alright, 45 minutes of practice here today in the Rapid Racing League. First time commentating this league. We're on round, what, 11? Here in Russia, Sochi. I'm excited. Oh, we've got to get lap data on. So far, only 5 drivers here for practice, but of course, practice is not the essential part of the weekend. It's all about the qualifying. It's all about those 18 minutes you get in qualifying. But you'd have to imagine those who come for practice are going to have a slight advantage. You know, they're going to be way more prepared for the track, as we got Rob for pole out first in the Haas. I'm going to have to familiarise myself with all the drivers and the teams. Of course, Rob for pole will be teaming SSG Atmosphere in the Haas this season. Not here for practice, but hopefully here for the race. I think we're expecting a near full grid, which does indeed get me quite excited. I will be paying more attention in just a second. Got to set everything up. As Rob for pole and FG Marvin in the McLaren on his outlap. And I have it set to streaming Apex. I knew I'd made a mistake. It's set as Apex. Hey Dan, how you doing? Sorry, I had the chat off. How you doing, Dan? Sorry. I hope you're doing well. I'm just setting everything up. If you're still here. Hello, Ashley. Nice to see you, my friend. Gotta get all the stats very last minute here in Russia. Rob for pole, first man out on track today in that Haas. And I've just fucking loaded up Dead by Daylight. What am I doing? Or Sochi, quite an interesting circuit. Can create some interesting scenarios, you know. Well, let me get up the track information, as I always do. Very last minute, I just had a shopping delivery, so I was very rushed to set all this together. But key parts of the Russian circuit here in Sochi. Let me run you through it. It is indeed practice, 45 minutes of it. Into turn 2, that long left-hander of turn 3 as well, just following it. Great overtaking zone, using that first DRS zone on the home straight. It's quite a long, right? I mean, like the first braking zone is at turn 2, so it's what? A near kilometer-long run. Then the next, I mean, you could even go round the outside in turn 3. As FG Marvin puts out the first lap time of the day. Better get the tyre information up, actually. He's on the mediums. Detail. There we go. Fitted. That's the one. I mean, as I was saying. And then into turn 13 as well. Another long straight of DRS. Another good overtaking opportunity. It's quite hard to overtake around the rest of the track with some very tight, nimble turns. Hard to follow usually. We'll see who else is on a bit of a lap right now. The Ferrari of Rusty Neptune coming out of the pits. His teammate, I believe, is Paul Toddy, who's actually won a race this season here in RRL. He did indeed. Won in Monza. Maybe looking to pick up his second win. He's not here for practice. Is his teammate, though, in the other Ferrari, out on those hard tyres. Certainly going to get some good information for the race. See what kind of pace the Ferrari can pick up. Of course, I'll familiarise myself with the championship standings. First race out here in RRL for me. We've got Kimi Raikkonen 98 in that Renault. Thoroughly leading the championship by what? 63 points. Over S-Winger and the Williams. Renault quite a lead. Well, actually, no, they've only got a 40-point lead over Ferrari because the other Renault, a Rusty Neptune, has only got himself 4 points. And I'm assuming Rodriguez is a reserve driver with 2 points. FGE Marvin in the McLaren gets a 1:35.8. I was just setting everything up, as I said. Quite a rush setup today. Not normally like this, but I had a food delivery. You know how it be. Now the fastest in-race lap time around this circuit, a 1:35.7. We've already seen that beaten here on the softs by Matt Mass F1. We've got some yellow flags. Matt Mass F1 going fastest so far in practice. Now I'm assuming, yeah, I think Matt Mass is a reserve driver, it says here. Covering for the Mercedes today in that, look at that nice soft compound there, going to pick up the pace. Let's see if he can beat his lap time. He does, 1:33, almost cutting a whole second off, 7 tenths. Faster than his fastest time here, 37 minutes left of free practice. 2 of the 5 cars that have shown up have put in a lap. I want to see how Rusty Neptune does on these hards, though. Really see how they can stack up. You see what the kind of pace you have on the softs. Near 2 seconds faster than the mediums. Yeah, so around 2 seconds faster than the mediums are the softs. Now we'll see the pace of the hard tyres here. You got to find that right race pace, because if they, some tracks the hard tyres can really come alive. The extra durability they have, the soft tyres are obviously going to be a lot faster. If they don't last very long, it might be more strategic to go on like a hard medium strategy. We'll have to wait and see what kind of time Rusty Neptune can put together. 1:22 so far. Got a couple of corners to go. Just these tight corners I was talking about. 15, 16, 17, and then the final corner, turn 18. Going to be an invalid lap. Some track limits becoming an issue. Not normally a big problem here in Sochi. There's not, apart from maybe the first couple of corners, not generally a huge runoff. Like the last couple of corners are very compact. Unfortunately, though, not going to be a valid lap. Now, this is our championship leader in that Renault. Kimi Raikkonen, 98. See what kind of time he can put together. Now, he did win last time out, but he only qualified 5th. Obviously, as I said, this is my first race commentating this league of the season, so I'm obviously not too familiar with the rest of it, but I can see that last time out Kimi Raikkonen qualified 5th and finished 1st, so he's actually won most of the races this season. You look at the standings and he's won what, 6? He won last time out in Singapore. Man, I had to wait 3 races to go back to Hungary where he won. He won in China, Canada, France, Austria. Espringer picked up a couple of wins in between, splitting him up. See what he can do today in Russia. Goes for a 1:35.5 on those mediums. The fastest lap of the medium runners. Matt Mass, though, still pumping out solid lap times on those softs. Rusty Neptune on those hards. We want to see how competitive those hards are. Obviously, they're going to be substantially slower than the softs, but just by how much, though? And then you don't know the fuel road. He might be doing racing trim. He might be doing qualifying trim. But he's 3 seconds off the pace of those medium tyres in the hards. You don't know what kind of trim he's running. That's obviously quite important. Yellow flags through sector 1. Who is that? FG Marvin going through the runoff. Don't want to pick up a penalty in practice. It is possible. You can do it. Go on board just to see what the sound of the car is like when you're on board, because I've got to make sure the volume's all good. Alright, the volume is all good. I'm just making sure the stream's set up perfectly well. I guess it's a bit of a practice for me too, this practice session, making sure the stream's good. We're going to stay on board with FG Marvin. Rob for pole in the Haas has also come out on those hard tyres, certainly giving them a gander. While Matt Mass, maybe checking the durability of those softs, seeing how far we can go on them while still putting together competent lap times. We'll actually go on board with Matt Mass in the Mercedes. And we'll see just how much his lap times are falling off now, 4 laps in to the run on these soft tyres. Interested to see if he can still put together competitive lap times. Oh no, he's slowing down. He's slowing down. Recharging the battery. Maybe getting ready for another hot lap. Fair enough. He's not running a racing trim, that's for sure. Invalid lap time for Kimi Raikkonen. Rob for pole also on a lap, so we'll follow FG Marvin. He's just gone 8 tenths quicker than his fastest lap time. And oh, FG Marvin, a little collision into the wall, clipping the wall a little bit here in practice. I don't believe, to break character a little bit, I don't believe damage is on for practice, so won't have to waste any time in the pits. But you know this isn't going to be his fastest lap. Rusty Neptune's in the pits. Kimi Raikkonen on a 120, but that's obviously the invalidated lap. How's Rob for pole doing in sector 1? Another invalidated lap for him. Matt Mass 10 seconds off, but he was going slow. We'll see how he does here. On a hot lap, on 5 lap old softs. How competitive will this lap time be for Matt Mass F1 in the Mercedes? Using that apex there, really going in. Can't get all 4 wheels off the track though, would have invalidated track limits. Let's see how far. See, it goes left, touches the apex, gets a little touch, almost goes off. Fastest sector 1 so far on these 5 lap old softs for Matt Mass F1. Realise brushing up against the curb. Stay on board with Matt Mass F1, number 73 here. That rear wing right open. It's a bendy bit of a straight. There's turn 12. Here comes turn 13. Fastest through sector 2 as well. Matt Mass. 5 lap old softs. Still pumping out solid lap times. And you know what? Maybe the soft tyre might be a decent race tyre here in Sochi. It's looking good so far this weekend. Of course, still half an hour to go. Only 15 minutes through practice. Matt Mass F1, of course, he is a reserve driver. He's picked up 2 points so far. I'm assuming that's covering for Mercedes, because it's blue on the standings. And Matt Mass F1, I did look away briefly, but I think didn't quite hit his fastest lap. Maybe sector 3 messed him up. I think his fastest lap was a 1:33.8 already. Let's look at the standings. Now, Rusty Neptune, it's going to be his turn on the softs. Now, we've only seen Matt Mass F1 on the softs so far today. We'll see what Rusty Neptune can do in that Ferrari. Although, as I look at the standings, Rusty Neptune is a Renault driver, so I guess you just sit in any cars in practice. Again, my first time commentating this. This league, didn't realise. He's in a Ferrari for practice. I won't even mention the cars. We'll see what Rusty Neptune can do, though, on the softs. Get ready to start his hot lap here in practice. 29 minutes to go. Now, can he have any sort of pace similar to Matt Mass F1? Where is Rusty Neptune in the table, in the standings? 15th. Only 4 points. He's only raced 3 races. He's got 4 points. He's right on, you know, to put it into perspective, he's right on the back of Lee Kaler, who got 4 points in the first race of the season, and only since has got 1. So put it into perspective. Appreciate the follow to whomever that was. It doesn't tell me who, but I appreciate that follow. Of course, Renault leading this championship by, what, 39 points over the Ferraris, who are on 179. See how Rusty Neptune does on these softs. See if he can rival Matt Mass F1. Ending up Sector 2. Does he go fastest? He doesn't go fastest through Sector 2. That is still held by Matt Mass F1. I'll just call him Matt. Seems a little bit easier. There's turn 16. Here comes turn 17, the penultimate corner of this hot lap. What are we looking at here? Maybe what, 134? No, it's not been the best one for Rusty Neptune. He is faster than his fastest lap time, but in those softs, he might have a full fuel load though. He might not have been going for a quali lap. Maybe Matt Mass, and I think now that I look at it, Matt Mass likely going for a quali lap in a 133. Rusty Neptune may well have, maybe looking at race trim, maybe having a full fuel load on the car, pumping out a 137. We'll see who else is out right now. Our championship leader still on the mediums in that in that Renault. Got so used to looking at Rusty Neptune in the Ferrari, but no, Kimi Raikkonen is indeed in the Renault. He is our championship leader. He has been on the podium every race this season, barring one, and that was Italy, where Paul Toddy picked up a win. A huge win for Toddy then. How's Kimi Raikkonen 98 looking here today on those 6-lap-old mediums? I mean, Matt Mass put in one of his fastest laps on 6-lap-old softs, so surely Kimi Raikkonen can put in one of his fastest on 6-lap-old mediums. They're probably starting to heat up now. 6 laps into this stint on the medium tyre. Again, perhaps running a race stint, although 135 could easily be running quali laps on the mediums. Yeah, I noticed. I did notice. I noticed it after I went to look up the table because I was confused. So I saw him in yellow. But yeah, I did notice that he is supposed to be in Renault. 135.0 for Kimi, though. That is his fastest lap on those mediums. You know what? We've also got FG Marvin. He's put on the softs. He's not out of the pitch just yet, but he is putting on the softs for his next run. I've just noticed that in the top left corner. That FG Marvin is popping out on the softs. We're going to see his pace. There's only 2 cars on the track right now in the form of Rusty Neptune and Kimi Raikkonen, the 2 Renault drivers, pumping in those laps ahead of qualifying, and then of course the Grand Prix later on today. 50 laps, not 50 laps, 50% around this. We're supposed to be a 53 lap circuit. On 50%, it'll probably be what, 26, 27 laps around Sochi. And here comes FG. Here comes Marvin on those softs. Now we've seen Neptune on the softs. He went 137. We've seen Matt Mass on the softs. He's gone 133. Now, what will FG Marvin do in the McLaren on these soft tyres? What kind of lap time are we looking at? He watches out lap here. Now is Kimi on a validated lap? He is indeed. Let's see what he can do as he comes up to turns 15 and 16. The slower, well, this is the slowest part of the circuit. You see, there's a lot of fast corners on this circuit. Who's got a 134.2? You've got a 133.8. Oh, you think Marvin will get a 134.2? We'll have to wait and see. We'll go on board with him. He's still on his outlap. It's an invalidated outlap. He must have gone across track limits somewhere. I believe that'll invalidate his next lap too. So he's going to have to certainly get some... Well, he gets the chance to get some heat into those tyres, for sure. We'll stay on board Rusty Neptune. He's 2 tenths down on his fastest Sector 1. I love that. I love that camera shot from the helicopter. Oh, someone's waving yellow flags, and that is going to be the McLaren of FG Marvin. Gone for perhaps a little bit of a spin. I wish I could get replays. Right, and here we go. FG Marvin. See what kind of time, Matt thinks he's going to get a 134.2. Let's see what Marvin can put together on those softs. We've had 2 of the runners so far go on softs. Rusty Neptune only managed a 136, but he could be running a race trim. You would expect him to be 3 seconds off the pace of Matt Mass F1. While Matt, I think, was running a quali trim, looking to see what kind of lap time he can put together in that Mercedes. Let's see what Marvin can do, though. Will he go fastest through Sector 1? Not quite, but he is 4 tenths up on his best time of a 135.8. Going to need to improve a little bit more than that. If he's only 4 tenths up in every sector of the track, he's only going to be a 134, as you predicted. A 134, what? 6? If he's 4 tenths up in every sector, you have to pick up the pace somewhere. The DRS zone now, turn 11 and 12. Need to turn off my notifications before the race starts. Let's see what he does through Sector 2. Oh, 7 tenths off. You see what I'm saying? He is improving on that medium time, but he's not improving enough. But he's gone fastest. He's gone fastest through Sector 2. And now coming up to turns 15 and 16, the slowest part of the track. Weaving left and right. The penultimate corner now for Marvin. Here we go. Eating up that curb. And dives in that quick right-hander into the final... Well, it was the final corner. 1.5 seconds off. 134.2. How did you know? Matt Mass with a bold prediction. It pulled off a 134.2 in that McLaren on the softs. Dived into that final right-hander. Into the start-finish straight. And dived into a 134.2. 4 tenths off the pace of practice so far. 20 minutes to go. You know your drivers. Okay, you tell me now. Tell me now. What quali time is Paul going to get on this track? Tell me that now and I'll hold you to it. I see what Rob for Pole's doing. He's 700ths up. Or down, I should say, on his fastest Sector 1. Coming up on Sector 2, still testing out those medium tyres. He did medium earlier. Perhaps he's on a race trip because Rob for Pole in the medium, on the medium tyre, has gone fastest through Sector 2. Yeah, Paul Toddy. Yeah, well, what's he going to get in qualifying? Hey, Paul, how you doing? Nice to see you, buddy. I'm still hurt over you DNFing earlier on in the week. But Rob, on the mediums, fastest through Sector 2. What kind of lap is he going to put together here? Oh, I really thought he must have lost it in that third and final sector, but he's still up on his best time. 135.3. Who else is out on track? The championship leader, Kimi Raikkonen, 9 tenths off through Sector 2. You could be putting a flyer on these medium tyres. Kimi Raikkonen, what kind of lap is he going to put together here? It's a second faster. He's gone faster than Marvin on the softs, on those mediums. He's just 2/10 off the fastest lap here in practice on the medium tyres. I guess that's why he's the championship leader, if he's putting out these kind of quali times on slower tyres. 11 lap old mediums. You think he'll go 1:32.4 as well? Well, I mean, if you think about it like this, how many races are there left? There are 6 races left, and Raikkonen has got a 63-point lead. I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess third is also still in the championship fight on points, and fourth, and fifth, if Kimi just DNF'd the next 4 races. But Kimi, I mean, he's closing in on sealing the championship here, because there's 6 races to go. Esswinger essentially has to beat him in every race. And he's only beaten him, I'm looking back, Esswinger has only beaten him in 2 races. He won Silverstone and Kimi finished 3rd with fastest lap. And he finished 2nd in Monza while Kimi finished what? 5th? So Esswinger's going to have to pick up the pace if he's going to catch Kimi in this championship fight. Now, Matt Mass F1 has put on some fresh softs. He's heard the commentary. He's not happy that Kimi's 2/10 off the back of him on those mediums. Matt Mass now going to try and improve on that 1:33.8. Coming out of the pits. Onto a flyer. Onto some fresh soft tyres. Let's see what the Mercedes can do. While he's on his out lap, we'll stay on board with FG Marvin, who's actually on an invalidated lap. So we'll go on Rusty Neptune. By the time Rusty Neptune finishes his lap, Matt Mass will have started his, so it's perfect. Perfect little transition. Neptune on, what, 4 lap old softs. See what kind of time you can put together. The fuel load is going to be getting lighter in that car as practice goes on. He's definitely on some sort of race stint. Well, yeah, his lap time's getting closer. I'm noticing he's utilising the curbs a lot less than some of the other drivers. Maybe he's just working on his tyre management. I'm not sure. I don't have the information, but he is certainly using the curbs a lot less than everyone else out here today. Six tenths down on his fastest time though. Not looking good here in practice for Rusty Neptune. Still 17 minutes to go. And this all, I mean, you know what? Think of it like this. Rusty Neptune, he's on 1:36. He's not doing the fastest here in practice, but what he is doing is putting some laps down that potentially 15 other drivers aren't doing right now. If we have a full grid today. Matt Mass has started his fastest lap. We know Rusty Neptune, or hot lap I should say, we know Neptune is not going to be on his fastest lap. We'll see what Matt Mass can do now on those fresh softs. See what kind of a time he can put together here in the Mercedes. The reserve driver, who's raced a few times for Mercedes, if I'm reading this correctly. Picking up a couple of points for them. 2 temps up on his best, on his personal best through Sector 1. We'll go on board. We'll go on board with Matt Mass here. You see him just tapping that curb with the front left. Far wide, quick, swooping left-hander. Really just lets the car run as wide as he can. Now on the DRS, you're going to see that rear wing wide open. Extra pace going forward. Kimi's also on a set of softs now. We're looking at fastest through Sector 2 goes Matt Mass in that Mercedes. Let's see what kind of time he can put together here in practice. They give a good indication of what he can get later on today in qualifying. And just burning rubber on that curb. Final couple of corners. There's turn 17. And then that swooping right, quick right-hander for turn 18, the final corner. And he goes 1 second quicker. A 1:32.8 for Matt Mass in that Mercedes. And that is a very competitive lap time. Matt Mass. Maybe Matt Mass will be fighting for pole, but we'll see what the championship leader can do. He's still in the pits. He's putting on some fresh softs. I'm interested to see what the championship leader can do. Rob for pole, though, also on softs. He's 1 second off, but it's an invalidated lap time. And he's gone, yeah, I think he's just broken track limits again. Unfortunately, Rusty Neptune was a second and a bit off his fastest lap. Matt Mass F1's not going for a flyer. Kimi and Marvin are in the pits. And Rob for pole. He's about to start a hot lap, so we'll stay on board, Rob. He was 1.4 seconds faster than his fastest, but it was an invalidated lap. Let's see what Rob can do here. See what kind of lap time he possesses inside that Haas. Will it be competitive with Matt Mass in the Mercedes? That is the fastest lap of the day so far. And could be looking at quite a good quali. I mean, what was the quali lap last year? Okay, well, qualifying 1:31.3 was the pole lap. Rob for pole. He's 5/10 off his best time. Oh, he almost went very deep, but he's fastest. He's fastest through sector 2. Rob on quite the flyer here. See what you can do. See what kind of time you can put together. He's going to lose all that time. We've seen a lot of cars lose a lot of time in the final sector, but a 1:34.1 keeps him in 4th, but he's certainly getting closer and closer. I mean, look, what? 3/10 separate 1st to 4th? That's quite competitive. Our championship leader still, in fact, Rob is the only one on the track right now. He's got a whole track to himself to put in some laps. But yeah, the pole lap last year in real life was a 1:31.3. Now, I'm expecting people to smash Lewis Hamilton's pole time. Maybe not. But that's just an indication. Rob for pole. Let's see what he does in Sector 2. He set the fastest Sector 2 of the session so far. And he's not gone as fast, but he's only 1/10 off. Now, as I was saying before I got distracted, I see a lot of cars losing time in that final sector. Perhaps gone for a lower aero setup to get some extra speed in the straights, but it's not going to help them through these tight corners. Oh. One of the Ferraris is here. 5th in the championship, Darth Morris. He's got 4 podiums so far this year. He won the first race out in Bahrain all the way back in round 1. Currently sitting on 89 points. 1 point behind his teammate Paul Toddy. Literally just the fastest lap that Paul got in Belgium is what separates the two. No, everyone is in the pits right now. Rusty Neptune on an out lap. We'll stay on board with him. 5th fastest so far with 10 minutes left to go here in practice. And Darth Morris looks like he's going to start on the mediums. Still on his out lap. Darth Morris also on an out lap, I believe. Oh no, he's actually on a full qualifying lap. Well, he's obviously not on a proper lap. Because it's telling me he's on a 150 through sector 1. This is obviously his outlap and the game's just glitching. And here's Toddy's, his partner. Now, I don't know what car Toddy's going to go in, because Neptune is supposed to be in the Renault. See what Darth Morris can put together as we'll stay on board Rusty Neptune. See what kind of time he can put together here as Kimi... Oh, I think that's Kimi out. Is that Kimi out? Yeah, Kimi is on the outlap. His first run on the softs. See what kind of time he can put together. I know, Paul. Rusty's in your car. I got me confused because I was calling him a Ferrari driver for a minute. And then I realised that you're a Ferrari driver. I can't believe how fast this has gone. 45 minutes have flown by. Only 9 minutes left to go here in practice. Invalidated lap for Rob, but it's just, yeah, his outlap is nothing too major for him. I want to see that Kimi Raikkonen run on the softs, because he hasn't been on the softs all session. He's only been on the mediums. Looking forward to seeing what kind of lap Kimi can put together. I've been on board for Rob already, so I'm going to go on board with Kimi as he goes through what, turn 15 and 16 here. Getting ready to set up that hot lap. Can he get, I mean, it's obviously not pole because it's not qualifying, but can he get the fastest lap? Can he top practice? A 55-second lap, yeah, I'll hold you to that. But here we go. The championship leader, the man who is 63 points up in the championship, is out here in practice, perhaps looking to set the fastest time of the session. This long left-hander of turn 3. Here's turn 4. Quick, heavy braking zone. Stay wide to go as close as inwards as you can on that right hander. Then the left hander, really running it wide, but making sure you don't take all 4 wheels off the track. Avoiding those track limit penalties. Let's see if he can break the fastest sector 2. I feel like every driver out here has set the fastest sector 2 so far today. Let's see what Kimi Raikkonen 98 can do. And he's also gone purple in sector 2. 9 hundredths off of his fastest lap time. Now it's all about sector 3. I say this is where most cars seem to lose most of their time. He set a 134 on mediums. What is he going to set on softs? A 133.5. 7 tenths off the back of Matt Mass. He's faster, but Matt Mass in that Mercedes, my lord. What a time. The driver's starting to pile in as practice comes to a close. Just 6 minutes left. Who else is out here? Darth Morris has set a 134.7 on the mediums. I was looking at the wrong guy. 134.7 on the mediums. Paul Toddy's now out here. See what he can do on these soft tyres. He's going to set a fast. He's going to try for a fast lap. He's gone fastest through sector 1. Very bumpy through that right hander there. Really rode the curb. Where are these sausage curbs at? Coming up to turn 10 now. Ride the curb on the exit. It's turn 11 and turn 12 on this windy DRS straight. Fastest sector 2 as well for Toddy. Oh, he's gone very deep there, though. That might have compromised his lap. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he's found a line that no one else has, but that looked very deep to me. And a 1:32.6, and Kimi Raikkonen, by the way, on a 1:32.3 has gone fastest through practice. So we've got a 1:32.3, a 1:32.6, and a 1:32.8 as our 3 fastest times through practice. I can't believe I missed that lap from Kimi. Who else? Is anyone else on a flyer right now? Marvin on these fresh softs, another set of fresh softs. See what kind of time Marvin can put together. He's got 1:34 as his fastest. Can he break into the 1:33s? Darth Morris and the other Ferraris in the 1:33s. Very deep there though. In a turn 2, I don't think he'll go far. His fastest lap here. Very deep. Very, very deep indeed. We'll see, but I don't think he will get his fastest first sector. No, 3 tenths off. I think Toddy could have gone faster. I think he went very deep into, what is that, turn 13? I think it was turn 13. Oh, Toddy is going to set himself up for another flying lap, it seems. Is Kimi on a flyer? Well, I think Kimi is. Well, Kimi's ahead, so no, he's 7 tenths off his fastest time. We'll wait and see. Kimi's ahead, so we'll watch Kimi, and then we'll switch back to Toddy. See those tyres just losing their shine. He's a second off of his fastest time, so we'll go back to Toddy, see what kind of time he can do. Second time of asking. On these softs. Still got a bit of shine on that left tyre. The left tyre more of a passenger. There's a lot of big, heavy right-hand braking zones on this track. Like turn 2, right-hander. Turn 4, right-hander. Turn 5, right-hander. Fastest through sector 1 again for Toddy. He's looking to get that fastest time. He's looking to top practice. Well, he's got 2 minutes left to do it. Will Toddy be able to top practice? The Ferrari driver that's leading his teammate by 1 point in the championship. Here comes Paul Toddy through sector 2. Not fastest through sector 2. In fact, he's lost a bit of time, but he'll gain time here because he won't go as deep, I'd hope. He's free. Ah, he's gone off. He's gone off. Toddy, no. And he's spun! Paul Toddy has gone for a little bit of a spin on his second hot lap. Yellow flags through sector 3. Not how I would have liked to end the session because those tyres are going to be dusted. He's been disqualified from the session. Paul Toddy pushing himself a bit too hard. Now Darth Morris, his teammate on a flyer, 1:33. It was his best time. Can he get... He's going to have to cut 8 tenths off if he's going to get into the 1:32s here in this practice session, but we'll see what he can do. And then we'll go on board and ride everyone for their final lap. Really cutting nice and tight on that left side. Oh, little lock up there by the Ferrari man. It looked like you were going to go faster on your second lap. You set the fastest sector 2. I think you might have just messed up a little bit. Fastest sector 1. Might have messed up a little bit in sector 2. Because you went then with 300ths down. and then you span. It looked like you were getting sector 3 better than you did on your first hot lap, but you end up spinning. There's Esswinger, the man second place. Now Esswinger this time, Esswinger pretty much has to beat Kimi in, I'd say, what, 4? Well, he's gonna have to beat him substantially. I think he'll even if Esswinger wins every single race and Kimi just finishes second, I believe Kimi still wins the championship at this point. There's only 6 left. Yeah, he'd only gained 42 points on him, and there's a 63 point gap. Obviously, that depends on fastest laps and whatnot. Who else is out on a flyer? Matt Mass is 2 tenths off of his fastest time. But it looks like he's caving it in. Alright, see what Kimi's on. Kimi's on an invalidated lap. We'll see what time. He's not going for a fastest lap. And that is, I guess, everybody then here in practice. We'll stay on board with the man who topped the session. He's not going for a fastest lap or anything. It is indeed all about quali. It's nice to get some practice in, though. You've got to think that everyone who's put time in on practice is going to have advantage going into qualifying. Like some of these guys, I mean, look, you see Rusty Neptune, who's gone 12 laps just on that set of softs. He must have done a good 30 laps. I think he was the first man out. But yeah, Esswinger's going to have to win every race essentially, or Kimi's going to have to DNF a couple times, because the 63 point gap is not going to be closed even if Esswinger wins every race and Kimi comes second. If he comes third in every race, it makes it up a little bit. I think if he comes third every race, I don't think he closes it, because that's a 10 point gap. Yeah, 60 points. He'd be 3 points behind. If Kimi comes less than third in one race and Esswinger wins all of them, then Esswinger can still win the championship. There you go. I mean, technically, Mr. Peach can, on points, still win the championship. Just because there's still, what, 150 points to be earned? And if Kimi just DNFs the next 6 races, I mean, anyone down to 8th could technically still win, I guess, if they won the next 6 races and Kimi DNF'd all of them. Constructors, though, is a lot closer than the Drivers' Championship. I would say any of the top 4 teams still have a chance of winning. 60 point gap between first and 4th. And when you think that it's only really Kimi carrying that team, Rusty Neptune, to be fair, he's missed half the season. He came in round 9 or round 8 in Belgium. He's got 4 points. Is this still more practice? I'm sure it is, because I'll stay on board for who? Oh yeah, because it's one shot. Yeah, I believe this is they're just I guess doing a fast lap, because qualifying is 18 minutes. Kimi put the fastest time together in practice, so we'll stay on him through this hot lap. Let's turn 10. Why was there a safety car there? What? Oh, Kimi set the fastest time through sector 2. I think Kimi might set the fastest lap of this session. I think then there'll probably be a 5-lap test race as well. Little mini race that doesn't mean anything. 1:31.2, 1:31.5. How did he qualify 5th last time out? Three-lap test race. Okay, got ya. I thought so. I thought so. I'm looking forward to see. I'll save the energy for the actual race and qualifying. I'll keep it hyped for that. I'm looking forward to seeing the kind of on-track battling we're going to get in this little test race. Alright, so a quick little test race as well. We're going to get some on-track action, which I'm excited about. Straight to 5 red lights then for this little test race. There is no formation lap in the test race. Wow, the Red Bull, who's that? An S-winger? Not having the best start. Toddy, I mean, there's such a long run into turn 2. Turn 1's not really a braking zone. Paul going to try and go around the outside. But Kimi Raikkonen just a little bit ahead of him. All the cars relatively close together. Oh, Paul Toddy, though, going to try and go around the inside of turn 3. Trying to hug that apex, can't quite get near. They almost touch. Into turn 4. And Toddy in the inside! Toddy up the inside of Raikkonen! And Paul Toddy takes the lead in this test race. And then the Mercedes of Matt Mass as well in 3rd, right behind. There'll be no DRS here, of course. We're only having 3 laps, but we'll go on board with the man who started on pole here in this test race. He's 4 tenths back on Paul Toddy. Toddy going to try and get the win in this test race. 3 tenths is the gap. Matt Mass is right behind him. I mean, a second and a half separates the top 5. Maybe 2. I mean, what? 2 seconds separates the whole grid. Oh, Toddy's going a little bit wide there, and that's going to allow Kimi Raikkonen to be really close. But I mean, look at all that. I mean, the dirty air when you're traveling this close to another car's gearbox is insane. You see, almost losing the front end there, did Kimi. Into the final corner. S-winger up to 4th. Has a 2-second time penalty. Toddy with the fastest lap, a 1:35.4. Now the gap starting to be seen. A second back now is Matt Mass on Kimi. Kimi still only 4 attempts back on Toddy. Toddy going to try and win this little test race. Could it be a preview of things to come later on today? Well, in the next, 30 minutes or so, we'll find out the grid order. We're going to find out the grid order and the race would have started. Marvin also with a 2-second time penalty. Toddy's gone wide. We'll see if Kimi can catch up to Toddy. 4 tenths is the gap on lap 2. Might be too far back without any sort of DRS to really get any sort of lunge. Paul Toddy just got the better of the opening lap. Because this part's really hard to follow through. All these tight corners. This left-hander, then the right-hander that precedes it. 7 tenths is the gap, and then 9 tenths back from Kimi. In fact, I'm going to go on board now with S-Winger, who's just behind Matt Mass, who's gone a little bit wide off the track. Paul Toddy with a 1:33.4. And it looks like S-Winger might have the run. On Matt Mass, up the inside, into turn 2? Right on the gearbox of Matt Mass. So close, practically touching, going to try and round the outside, he's going to get the inside line on turn 4, they almost touch, runs the bollard over, and S-Winger is going to have to fall there, the bollard just flown through the camera. S-Winger just 3 tenths off the back of Matt Mass. In that Red Bull. Oh no! S-Winger lost the back end! And Matt Mass is going to get off free. In fact, Marvin right on the back of S-Winger now. But the more important battle was the battle for the lead, and I think... Oh no, he's touched the wall! The old switcheroo around the outside of Toddy! Can he make it stick? Oh, wheel-to-wheel racing! Toddy's going to have the inside line! But Kimi might have the inside. Kimi might... Oh, he's going to have to brake. Paul Toddy almost cut him off. A couple of corners to go on this 3-lap race. Is there one more chance? I don't think there is. And Paul Toddy going to win from second. But what a great last lap. What a last lap that was. What a pose. That was some great wheel-to-wheel racing. Hope we see some more of that through the 26 or 27 laps of Russia that we've got later on today. Looking forward to qualifying. So we've had practice now, and now we have 18 minutes of qualifying. All the drivers will try and set the fastest lap they can to specify the grid order for the 50% 27 lap race. I want to say 27. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 12 drivers here so far. Here for the 2021 Rapid Racing League round 11 here in Russia. The championship getting closer and closer to being decided here in RRL. Kimi Raikkonen 98, 212 points so far this season. Estwinger though on 149 has got 6 races to close that gap. Here's the thing though, even if Estwinger wins all 6 races and Kimi finishes 3rd or above in all 6 races, Kimi will still win. He's going to need Kimi to finish outside the top 3. Now, Kimi has only not got a podium once this season, and that was at Monza. The closer fight, though, is the Constructors' Championship fight. Renault, on 218 points, are what? 40 points? 39 points up on Ferrari? Because both the Ferrari drivers, 4th and 5th, have won a race each. Darth Morris winning the first race of the season in Bahrain, and then Paul Toddy winning at Monza, looking to win again today in Russia. So the Constructors' Championship, certainly the closer of the 2 championships. That one could go right down to the wire. But I'm sure Kimi will be hoping Rusty Neptune can put some points on the board because, I mean, again, give him credit. He didn't race the first 7 races of the season, so you know, maybe it could have gone differently. Kimi Raikkonen has essentially been a one-man wrecking machine. Has 212 of the 218 points that Renault possess. I'm viewing his super license. I don't think I've even raced. I haven't even raced. Not on Jesus Christ. Okay. Not on Xbox. I haven't raced. Who do I know races a lot? Paul. Paul races a lot. What's his super license looking like? Damn. Oh Jesus Christ. Paul races a lot is what I'm seeing. "16 drivers here so far today. I think I have 15 drivers. I'm one of them, aren't I? Both the well, I'm just scanning through. So we've got both Williams drivers, both McLaren drivers, both Renault drivers, both Ferrari drivers, both Alphas, both Mercedes, one Red Bull, one Racing Point. And one Haas. believe qualifying will start shortly, if I'm not mistaken. I think the start time is 7:45. Yeah, here we go. Qualifying close to being underway here in Russia. A win here today for Kimi will almost certainly seal the deal, depending on where Estwinger finishes. As I've said this so many times, if Kimi wins today, he goes up to 237. It's getting to a point where it's almost guaranteed. Obviously, it's not mathematically guaranteed yet. I imagine it could mathematically be guaranteed by USA. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying moments away here in Russia for the Rapid Racing League. And the 18 minutes of qualifying action has begun. 18 minutes for these 15 drivers. Maybe more will show up throughout qualifying. If they do, they've only got 18 minutes to get here. But 18 minutes for these drivers to try and set their fastest times to set the grid order for the race around Sochi. Sochi, not Sochi. Who is the first one out? Someone is out. I couldn't quite see us. It'll be the Williams driver of Trival. I'll call him Trival. It might be Trivial, but I'll call him Trival. I believe this is his first race for Williams. Williams currently sitting 4th in the table. Estwinger carrying the Williams team. Now he's got a teammate. Maybe they can put up a fight for that Constructors' Championship. He'll be the first man to set a time today. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of time he can put together in that. Williams will stay on board with him. In fact, we'll go full on board with him. We'll go full on board with the Williams driver. See what kind of pace Trivial can put together in his first race here in the Rapid Racing League. I join him. It's my first race here in Rapid Racing League. Right behind him, I believe that's Kimi, also on an outlap. Near enough everyone. What, half the grid? They're on the track right now. I assume the rest will come out after these guys have finished their outlaps. No, they're going to start. They're starting to trickle out the pits. As long as they stay out of the way, everything should be fine. Let's see what Trivial can do here. As he goes for the first hot lap of the session in this 2021 round 11 here in Russia. The first man to set a time lap today is going to be Trivial in the Williams. This is his debut here in Rapid Racing League. And what kind of lap time can he put together? We'll wait and see. We were seeing 132. We saw 131 in the test quali. 131.3 was the pole time on the test quali. Obviously, you know, you might not get that again. We'll see. Might even get better than that. Obviously, fastest through Sector 1 Will that change when Kimi goes through Sector 1? It will indeed. Kimi does go fastest through Sector 1, but we'll stay on board with Tribble. He's catching that Mercedes ahead of him. Who's that going to be? That's going to be Matt Mass ahead of him in the Mercedes. Fastest through Sector 2. Of course, he's going to be fastest though. He's the only man who's set a time as of now. Almost lost the back end there. Looks very shaky, does that Williams. And that might have really messed his lap up. Almost lost the back end again. Going to commit to the lap. I mean, it's better to commit to the lap and just see what kind of lap you can get. Better having a lap than no lap. Well, the provisional pole is a 1:33. Let's see what Kimi can do, though. As he goes round turn 17 into the final corner. What's provisional pole going to be? It is going to be a 1:31.2 for the championship leader. Who else is out on a flyer right now? He had an invalidated lap time. Alright, we're on board with Matt Mass F1 in the Mercedes. He put up a competitive lap time in practice, and in the test qualified third. Now, of course, there was only 7 drivers for that. There's 15 here. Let's see what Matt Mass can do in Sector 2 here. The pack's getting quite congested. You can see behind him one of the Williams drivers. A 1:31.2 is the time to be. XRF1 in that racing point, who currently sits 9th in the championship, having missed the first 5 races, is joining Kimi on the front row. 105 into Sector 2. Brenny having some problems in that Alfa Romeo. Who's that ahead of him? Is that Toddy ahead of him? Or is that Darth Morris? I guess we'll find. No, it's going to be Toddy. Is Toddy setting a lap time, or is he on an out lap? No, he's setting a lap time. Oh, Toddy's gone third. 1:31.6. S-Winger in the Williams has gone second. Matt Mass has gone 6th. Mr. Neon in the lone Red Bull has gone 4th. We'll try and find somebody who's on a time lap. Who dat man? Also on a time lap. I'll call him Mane. I'll call him Mane. In the Mercedes. He's gone a bit wide. And that might be his lap already messed up, but we'll see what he can do. The other Mercedes, we've seen Matt Mass on the 3rd row in the Mercedes. 1:32.6. Well, 1:32.2 is the time to beat an S-Winger who desperately needs to beat Kimi here to keep the championship fight alive. Is 200ths down, 1900ths down. Well, no, 1.9 hundredths down on him. Oh, bit of traffic here. He's almost lost the front end. What kind of time is he putting on here? Mr. Mane, number 69, in that Mercedes. Coming down the last couple of corners. Ferrari going for it. Is that Ferrari going slowly? Going to go 9th. Alfa Romeo in Sector 2. Stupendous plays. Sits 12th in the championship with 16 points. See what kind of lap he can set. He is the lead Alfa by 7 points over Brenny. Although Brenny did manage to get the fastest lap in China. He's gone fastest through Sector 2. Has Stupendous plays. See what he can do in Sector 3. See what kind of spot he can put himself. We've got several drivers. Everyone on the front 2 rows is on 1:31s. Massive, a load of yellow flags, and I think that has actually messed up Stupendous Play's lap time. It has indeed. He's going to dive on into the pits. Is Toddy on a flyer? I think he might be. We'll have to wait and see. He is. He's 400ths up on his fastest time. Now he's going to need to shave 4/10. Now that's an invalidated lap. An invalidated lap for Toddy. Matt Mass might be on another flyer. We've already watched him, but we'll see if he's going faster on this lap. If he's not, we'll switch it. I believe he is. Darth Morris, the only Ferrari yet to set a lap time, currently 13th. Of course, the team battle between Toddy and Morris, 1 point separates the two. That one fastest lap that Toddy got at round 8 in Belgium separates the two drivers in the championship. Let's see where Darth Morris can put himself on the grid. When he go purple through sector 2. I've seen so many drivers go purple through sector 2 in practice. 105.6 is where he's at though. Slams down the brakes. Doesn't go too deep. That's nice to see. All of the top 12 are in the pits. So we've just got GWR 63, Brenny and Darth Morris. Well, not either in the pits or an outlap. No, GWR's in the pits. What is Darth Morris putting together here for his timed lap? Going to be enough to go 8th. Going to be sitting on the 4th row. And where's Brenny? Brenny on a 32. Let's see what he can do. 33. He's gone fastest through that first sector. Has Brenny? Like, you know he can put a hot lap together if he had the fastest lap in China. See how Brenny's second sector's looking. Going to be into, he's going to have to get into the 131s if he wants to get into the first 2 rows. He went fastest through sector 1. Can he do it through sector 2? Not quite. I think we're looking at a 132 here from Brenny, depending on what he can do in this last sector. Lost a bit of time through sector 2. What time are we looking at for Brenny? Brenny going to be a 132. Oh no! Brenny! Brenny set 132.6, put himself on the 4th row, but lost the car after setting the time and slammed into the wall. Yellow flags through sector 1. That is big impact. The tyre not hanging on. He is done for the session. The car, the engineers are going to have to repair that car in 7.5 minutes. And into the 1 minute 31s for XRF1. Who's 5th on the grid right now. 8 thousandths of a second off of the 2nd row. Who else is on a bit of a lap? Let's have a look. Have a look. Rob for pole is 200ths up on his fastest time through sector 1. Well, Brenny's not going to have the chance to set another lap, so a great opportunity for anyone below Brenny to put a lap time in, knowing that he's not going to be able to get back past him. Number 35 in that Haas. Is he the lead Haas? He's the only Haas. Oh, no, he's not. But Atmosphere has only shown up for 3 races. See what time Rob for pole can put together. Does he go faster? He doesn't quite. Invalidated lap. Invalidated lap. Rusty Neptune. Sector 1 complete. 300ths up on his fastest time. Wait, where is S-Winger in the Williams? Because that is the battle for pole. He's 7 thousandths up. Now he just needs to be 1.9 thousandths up. And he'll be on pole. Through sector 2 he's 400ths down. Can he make it up in sector 3? Can he just steal provisional pole? Invalidated lap. I've been robbed of a flyer. What's Paul Toddy looking at though? Can Paul Toddy improve? He's going to have to shave 4/10ths off if he's going to get on the front row. He does go fastest through sector 2. He's almost shaved 2/10ths off. Can we see Paul Toddy get on that front row here today? In Russia. In that Ferrari. Can he ride that prancing horse to the front row? We'll find out. One more corner to go. Can he snatch provisional pole? Oh, he goes faster, but not fast enough. Still 1/10 back on the front row. Tribble. It's just started a lap. Is there anyone further down the lap? Alright, GWR63 is yet to set a lap time. This is going to be his first lap. See what time he can put together. Can he fight for the front couple of rows? Oh! Second row! 1:31.4! GWR63 in that McLaren. He's currently 7th in the championship. Got 3 podiums this year. And he's put himself on the second row. 4 minutes to go. Where's Rusty Neptune? He's on an invalidated lap. That's where he is. Who's probably on a flyer right now? Rob for pole is most certainly not. Everyone else. Oh, Trivell might be. Trivell probably is, yes. We'll see what Trivell can do. This is his first qualifying session in the Rapid Racing League. See what Tribble can do. I don't think he's gone far. I didn't quite check. I was looking at my info down here. No, I don't think he's going faster. Is anyone else on a flyer right now? Obviously, invalidated lap. Invalidated lap. Most people are probably gearing up for one more run. You see everyone in the pits right now. Kimi on an out lap. Who's further through their out lap? Alright, we'll stay on board with Kimi. He'll be the next person, I believe, fighting for pole to set a lap. We'll go on board with our championship leader as he prepares to start what might be his final hot lap. He will get another one if you go straight on. Won't be on a fresh set though. Him and S-Winger, this will be their probably final attempt on fresh tyres. Again, they can just go through again, but it won't be on the fresh ones. S-Winger might want to stay as close as he can. See if he can get a bit of a slipstream down that front straight. Rusty Neptune has retired from the session in 14th. Seems like he's gone off. Where's he gone off? I want to get my eye on this one. I can't view it, but he's gone off. On the outside of turn 7. Maybe lost the car. Here we go. Our championship leader about to start his final flying lap on fresh tyres. He will have the chance to go on one more attempt, but this will be his last attempt on fresh tyres. A bit more rubber has been laid down on the track. You might be able to just squeeze a bit more time, a bit more pace. See what he can do through Sector 1, our championship leader. It's going good, Vorno. Qualifying's quite tight, as you can see. 1 second separating the top 6. He's not gone faster through Sector 1. Will S-Winger go faster through Sector 1? He doesn't go faster through Sector 1. This is the battle for pole. Trivell is retired in his first qualifying session. He's going to start P11 as of right now. There's still time for everyone else to put a lap in, though. Stupendous play. Still yet to set a lap. He's on his out lap. He's going to have to get this one perfect. Will Kimi go faster through Sector 2? No, still 700ths down. What kind of pizza did you get, Vorno? I didn't see what S-Winger was on. I guess we'll find out. Paul Toddy's setting himself up for one more lap too. Everyone's setting themselves up for just one more lap. Everyone in the pits now won't get another lap. Nope. Kimi's not going for another lap. S-Winger goes pole! Provisional pole with a 1:37 for S-Winger. And Kimi is not going for another lap. He slowed right down. Well, that could be our pole sitter for today. XRF1 is on a faster lap. He's in a 131s. This will be his last attempt at a hot lap. What can he get? Can he move back onto the third row? Round that final corner. Doesn't go faster. Who's next on the track? Marvin. Will Marvin go faster? Marvin does go faster, but doesn't move up. Who's next on the track? An Alpha. Stupendous Plays is going into the pits. He hasn't set a lap. And that means Stupendous Plays won't set a lap. Who's next on the track? Matt Mass. What lap is Matt Mass looking at? His final attempt at a hot lap today. Can he move up onto the fourth row? Can he move higher? He can! And he does! Onto the fourth row! Who's the next person to set a lap? I can't see. Who is that? That's Kimi. But he's not on a hot lap. No, he's not on a hot lap. So the next one after that is S-Winger, who's also not on a hot lap. So the next one after that is Rob, who's 4 thousandths down on his best time. And then after that, it's one of the Ferraris. I don't know which one. I'm going to have to guess, because I'm not going to have much time. Wish I could show multiple cars. Rob for pole. Doesn't go faster. Paul Toddy, though, onto the front row! Where can his teammate go? Where can his teammate go? His teammate's not on a flyer. And that is everybody. Well, maybe Kimi should have gone for another attempt. He slowed down. And that means... Well, Paul Toddy, by the way, has pushed himself onto that front row at 131.1. But Estwinger, the man who I said needs to beat Kimi in every race, if he has any chance, he's currently second. He's going to have to beat him every single race in the remaining 6 if he wants to have a chance at winning the championship. He's only finished higher than him in 2 races. Less than a second between the top 5. We are looking at a potentially very interesting run down to turn 1. Well, the first braking point is actually going to be turn 2. And what's interesting here is third is actually a very good spot to start on this track. Because you're going to have... It's such a long run into the first braking zone that you're going to have such an incredible slipstream up the back of, well, the Ferrari of Toddy and then the Williams of Estwinger. And then don't count out the other Ferrari. Both these Ferraris, I mean, like I said, the Constructors' Championship is very close. I mean, it's not very close. There is 39-point difference. But, I mean, a 1-2 for the Ferraris. A 1-2 for the Ferraris here could bring that Constructors' Championships down drastically. I believe we're going to have a little bit of a break now before the race. I can't wait for this. This is going to be one hell. Now, Paul claims he lost some time. He could have been on pole. He claims he lost 2 temps, dodging his teammate. Oh, this is going to be a spicy run into turn 1, isn't it? Oh, well, we're not going to have a break. Oh, we're going to go straight in. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start with a formation lap here. The run down to turn 2 is going to be crucial. Is that really? Is that really the punishment for running up early, a quali ban? I'm excited for this, you don't understand. This man here has to essentially win every race or outscore Kimi by more than 10 points in at least 2 races. And then outscore him by 10 points in the rest. That's crazy. Because as I said, Kimi has only not been on the podium once all year. Oh, back in Canada when Eswinger didn't finish in the points certainly has hurt him. And then when he finished 6th in Hungary as well. Eswinger, apart from those two, has also been on the podium every single time. Who have you got? Give me an early prediction, Vorno. Give me your podium. Who is on the podium today, Vorno? Go on, tell me. Tell me who you think's on the podium. How many DNFs are we getting? There's the predicted pit strategy. A potential one stop to those who can manage the tyres well. From soft to medium or soft to hard. I think we're going to see more than a one stop for most drivers today. We'll see. Oh, so you think Kimi's actually going to overtake Toddy and Estwinger? Kimi's going to really fight to try. I mean, Kimi could effectively win the championship in USA, I think. If he wins the next 3 races, I think it will pretty much be done. Near enough mathematically by USA. I haven't done the calculations, but 63-point gap right now. I mean, technically, anyone. I mean, technically, you can win it. Technically, yeah. If Kimi DNFs, oh no, you can't because you're not here today. Everyone up to GWR 63 can win the championship if Kimi DNFs every race and they win every race. So, mathematically, you've still got a chance. Marvin, the only man here to start on the mediums. Oh, I hate it when it doesn't switch cameras. Switch cameras. Marvin, the only one going for a different strategy. Garth Morris is also going to get a good run into well, anyone on that left, well, anyone really is going to get a decent run. The amount of slipstream you're going to get is going to be crazy. The lobby's crashed. Well, luckily, I can take a picture. My game's crashed. Oh, lovely. Would it have done that for everybody, or is it just me? I'm thinking just me, huh? I'm going to miss lap 1. Oh, this is tragic. I've been in there fine, all through practice. All through practice. All through qualifying, all through the test, I was in there fine. And it's robbed me of the first lap. Okay, we're back, and Kimi is fallen to 5th. I've been robbed. Oh, Kimi's fallen to 4th. So S-Winger has Paul Toddy all up on his gearbox. We'll stay on board with Paul Toddy as he looks to try and gain the lead of this race from P2 on the grid. I've been robbed of the first lap. Somehow Kimi has dropped back. Darth Morris obviously got a better run into turn 2. I assume that's when the overtake happened. FG Marvin on those medium tyres has gone from 12th to 9th. Oh, Kimi going to get back into that first braking zone. Is he going to get back to 3rd? Not quite. I mean, this is exactly what Estwinger wants. Estwinger, Kimi off the podium, and an Estwinger win would be the best thing for Estwinger's chances of closing down this championship. And as of right now, Ferraris are massively closing down the constructors. But Kimi, oh, it's a freeway battle for 3rd. It is a freeway battle for that final podium slot. Look at them. GWR and the McLaren's got ahead of Kimi as well now. Kimi has fallen back to 5th. And he spun! The championship leader has lost it! The championship leader is down to 14th! This is exactly what Estwinger would want. The championship leader is in 14th position, and Estwinger is almost a second ahead of Toddy. He needs to get out of that DRS detection range. GWR is up to 3rd. I'm interested to see how Kimi can recover this. Spinning out, he started P3, he's down in 14th. Estwinger with the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:34.9. That does indeed break the track record of a 1:35.7. Kimi into the pits. Trivel! What? How has Trivel got a 1:04? How does that work? So Kimi in the pits. I mean, he's going to get a new front wing. He's going to get probably new tyres as well. I'd like to see what kind of tyres he's putting on. He's gone on the hards. Is he going to try and carry those hards to the end of the race? We'll wait and see. The closest battle on the track right now, though, is the battle for 10th. Brenny, right on the back of Marvin. Marvin almost lost the race! Oh! A big collision! And Brenny is DNF'd. Marvin is stuck. Marvin might have to retire as well. Virtual safety car. Loads of penalties are being dished out. Is anyone in a position to pit under the VSC? Marvin is DNF'd. Absolute chaos. So many drive-through penalties. We're back to racing, though. We're back to racing. Green flags have been waved. Toddy has not been able to get the jump on Estwinger under the restart from the virtual safety car. Not going to be close enough on this occasion, I don't think. Paul Toddy, look at him, he's trying to drag him out of the slipstream, moving left to right. I know Paul Toddy loves to brake late, but Estwinger now got a 7/10 gap. What a start to this race. Our championship leader is currently out of the points. The closest battle on the track right now, though, is the battle for 6th. Rob for pole being hunted down by that Red Bull of Mr. Neon. Mr. Neon currently in 10th in the championship, and he's got a great run on the back of Rob, and surely gets it. Rob going to go very wide off the track, and that's a nice easy overtake for Mr. Neon. Not too far back, though, is the current lead Mercedes. DNF for Matt Mass. I want to go on board with stupendous plays. We've got another virtual safety car. It's not telling me for some reason. There we have another virtual safety car. Matt Mass is also out of the race. 3 DNFs in the first 4 laps. Who that man was so close. That man, I'll say, was so close to getting past Rob. All these drive-through penalties that have taken place so far in this race. Kimi is back up to 12th. Jesus Christ, is anyone going to pit under VSC? It's probably too early. Go up to the front runners because 2 tenths is the gap. 2 tenths is the gap. And he's overtaken him. He got the jump on him out of the VSC and he's got DRS. Tony into the lead here in Russia. Ferrari leading the race. S-Wing is going to try and get that place back. 3 tenths is the gap now. There's 2 tenths between Tony and S-Winger on lap 5. We have had some hellacious incidents already. S-Winger 4 tenths back. He's going to have DRS. Is he going to have a good run on Toddy through the next DRS zone? The lobby's restarting. I don't know how I can tell them. I mean, I'll keep calling this until they know it's restarting. Oh, wait a minute! S-Winger! Trying to go up the inside. Tony's going to have the inside line, though, through turn 16. S-Winger around the outside through turn 16. This is great racing, even if the lobby is going to be restarted. This is some phenomenal racing. And S-Winger back in the lead. Breaking that DRS. 1 tenth is the gap between first and second. If we go back, by the way, because Rog has got past Darth Morris into turn 2, but Darth Morris might have a better exit. Is he going to go around the outside? I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. And Rog has taken 4th place. We'll go back on board for the battle for the lead. 4 tenths is the gap. Rusty Neptune in the pits now. Oh no! Tony! Tony spat out on turn 6! No! Tony's lost it! Tony's lost the car! He was second! He qualified P2 and he's down to 8th. Oh, I've been invited. Oh, so we're really restarting it. Okay. That's devastating. Oh, that was such a good opening couple of laps. Oh, that was so dramatic. I loved it. What happened? Why did the lobby restart? What happened? I've got I can send you a screenshot of the grid order if you need, Mass. Kimi being span out is the most dramatic thing I've ever seen, though. That really spiced up the race. I can get the starting grid, yeah. I can get it up on screen, actually. Give me 1 second. I'll get the starting grid up on screen for you, so you can copy it. Give me 1 second, and I'll get that for you now. I should be able to. Yeah, let me just find it, and I'll get it up on stream for you. Alright, I've got it here. I'll put it up on screen for you. Yeah, I'm getting up, I'm getting up. Right, here you go. The starting grid is here. You should be able to see it in just a second. Oh, I've made it too big. There's the starting grid for you. Then 15th was Stupendous Plays. Can you hear me? So that's the first 40, and then 15th was Stupendous Plays. Oh, I better press spectate, ain't I? Is that all good, Mass? You got it? Or do you need me to keep it up? That's all good, yeah? Alright. Got ya. Missing a driver. I don't know who's missing, but we're missing one. Alright, lads. We are back. Some technical issues have delayed the Russian Grand Prix. We are back here in Sochi for round 11. Of the 2021 Rapid Racing League season. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. 28 seconds to go. The formation lap underway here in round 11. Everyone on the soft tyres. Here in Sochi. I'm excited for this race. It's going to be a good one. I know it is. As I said earlier on today, Eswinger needs to get a good start. Needs to retain first. He needs to hope maybe Darth Morris gets a good start and takes Kimi out of the top 3. Formation lap coming to an end here in Sochi. Eswinger will take that pole position here today, and he will hope that there's someone can get a good run on Kimi and take him out of the top 3. Because as I said, 6 races left. Even if he finishes first in all 6 races and Kimi finishes third, Kimi will still win the championship by 3 points, obviously depending on fastest laps. And here we go to 5 red lights, round 11, the Russian Grand Prix. And it looks like Eswinger did get a good start, but as did Darth Morris in that Ferrari up the inside. Oh no! Multiple cars have hit the wall, and I think that was as a result of Darth Morris. Darth Morris squeezed our championship leader, gave him nowhere to go, and we've got a safety car with GWR 63 and Kimi Raikkonen now on lap 1. A huge, potentially unnecessary squeeze fighting for position on lap 1. And we've got a safety car. Darth Morris up to 3rd. Rob for pole up to 4th. What a start by Rob. I don't know how the penalties work here in Rapid Racing League, but I think they're going to have a look at that one. The stewards definitely going to have a look at the incident involving Darth Morris, Kimi Raikkonen and GWR, because that was a very tight squeeze. It's all about the restart here. I imagine we won't get too many laps under the safety car. All the cars are nice and bunched together. Esswinger still retains his race lead. I mean, this is ideal for him. If he wins, that's 25 points up. And the gap between the championship leader and Esswinger goes down drastically. It's 63 points right now. If it stays as it is, it'll be 38 points, and this championship is right open. In fact, the constructors championship, I think, is going to be very close after today's race. If Ferrari secure the current position they're at, I mean, they'll be getting what? 33 points. The gap is only 39. They'll be 6 points away from Renault. Of course, it depends what Rusty Neptune can do, because he's currently getting 2 points. That's, of course, if it ends the way it has right now. First full lap are underneath that safety car. We've barely had a lap to get going here. We haven't had one full racing lap yet, and we've had 2 cars DNF. The new Williams driver isn't here either. So it looks like Esswinger once again is solely carrying that Williams flag. Keep it clean though, and he could walk away with 25 points. He cannot afford to DNF here. He needs to close the gap. This is the perfect opportunity for him to close the gap. As I've said, in only 2 races this season has he outscored our championship leader. At Italy, he outscored him by 8 points. And in Britain, he outscored him by 9 points. But, you know, you go back to Canada, Kimi won the race. Got 25 points. Esswinger didn't get any points. But the safety car is gone. And Paul Toddy with a great run. In behind. Will he be able to get the overtake done into turn 2? Trying to brake late. Can't quite get there. Not close enough on this occasion. But he's right on the gearbox of the man who leads this race. The man who qualified on pole. Esswinger. I'm sure he'll be itching for DRS to open, that's for sure. 3 temps back. Darth Morris has already fallen a second back. 4 temps is now the gap between Esswinger and Toddy. Rob for pole, and there's a 3-second time penalty for Marvin here, which could be huge. I mean, I've seen penalties in commentating. I've only been commentating Formula 1 for 6 weeks, and I've already seen penalties cost people race wins, so that's going to come back to hurt Marvin. He is now the lone McLaren in this race, and McLaren currently sitting 7th. They're only 1 point behind Mercedes going into this race. 5 tenths is now the gap. This is almost... Oh, XRF1 is into 4th in that racing point. 9th in the championship right now. 16 points back on Vorno. 3-second time penalty for the other Renault, which is going to put him out the points if it finished the way it did right now. We're going to have a full lap of racing without a safety car. It looks like we are. And I'm sure Toddy will be itching for DRS to be enabled. He'll have to wait though. Esswinger just breaking that slipstream. 7 tenths back, 8 tenths back. Toddy's losing time. We'll wait for DRS to open because who that man? Or that man just 5 tenths off the back of Stupendous Plays. Stupendous Plays, by the way, started at the back of the grid and he's now 6th. What a great first couple of laps for the Alfa Romeo driver. Brenny also in the points. Oh, he's gone very wide there, is that man. In fact, that's going to take him out of DRS range when I think DRS will open next lap. I bet the cars are already starting to get quite split. Yeah, that man now out of DRS range, but you know who is catching up? Brenny, just 6 tenths off the back. 5 tenths off the back. We might be seeing an overtake coming shortly. Get that dynamic camera going. Five tenths is the gap. And Esswinger has escaped from that DRS range. Paul Toddy won't even have DRS on the lead car of the race. Yes, he will. He's got back into DRS range. Oh, no! No! Brenny has span! Brenny has span on the way into turn 15. Oh, Jesus, luckily he ghosted. That was a dangerous re-entry to the track. He's in 12th now with some shattered front wing. Brenny was right on the back of that man. Stupendous Plays, though. Go on board with Stupendous Plays because he's coming up the back of Rob. DRS wide open. Toddy? What happened to Toddy? Toddy must have had an incident. Oh, he's disconnected. He's disconnected, so he's down. He's fallen down to 6th. Toddy's all the way back. What's happening here? Is he still disconnected? He's lagging all over the place. The Stupendous Plays is just 3 tenths off the back of Rob. Can Stupendous Plays close that gap? He'll have DRS now out of turn 10. 5 tenths is the gap. That gap is closing very, very quickly. Can Stupendous Plays, who started 15th, jump up to 4th? Yes, he can. Doesn't even need the braking zone. Also, an overtake bound to happen. Darth Morris has XRF1 right behind him. 5 tenths is the gap there. Yellow flags for sector 2. Who is that in sector 2? Who is that? Is that Toddy? It is Toddy. Toddy is having major issues here. He's down in 11th. But we're going to stay on board. Is this going to be a break? Oh! Just about stays ahead. Does Darth Morris. Oh, Toddy has dropped 28 seconds back. What's happened? He's fighting for the lead. 2 tenths back now. This is the battle for second. Toddy's DNF'd. What's happened to Paul? A lock up from the other Ferrari. This could have been the chance for Ferrari to close down that gap in the championship. To Renault. This is the perfect opportunity. Toddy's DNF'd. He's retired. And it looks like Morris might lose second to XRF1. DRS. He's going to have the overtake long before the braking zone. And XRF1 into second. Now XRF1, if I'm not mistaken, has had a fastest lap this season. He has, in Italy. So you know he can put a lap together. Maybe he can put on a charge now and try and catch up to Esslinger, who's 5 seconds clear of the field. That must be frustrating, Paul. I'm really not your good luck charm, am I? Oh, blimey hell. That man now 5 tenths behind Rob for pole. Rob for pole, only 7 tenths off the back of stupendous plays. I'm actually going to go on board but get that nice, beautiful, dynamic camera angle. Rob for pole, falling out of DRS range. He might have DRS. I think he might have been just in range by the DRS zone. No, he doesn't have DRS. He did. That man just 2 tenths off the back of him. Oh, he had a look. He had a little look. Trying to slip it up the inside of the Haas. Five tenths is the gap between that Mercedes and the Haas in 5th. He's gone a little wide there, did that man. Oh, you're going to lose your position in the championship to Darth Morris. Darth Morris is actually down in 6th. What has happened to Morris? Morris running slowly. He's missing his front wing. This is a disaster for the Ferrari. A disaster. This could have been the chance for Ferrari to close down their championship gap. Paul Toddy's retired and Darth Morris has lost his front wing. We'll stay on board with that man. Absolute disaster for Ferrari because Darth Morris might struggle to finish in the points here. This is, I mean, Renault, Kimi's going to be loving this. Ferrari were the closest challengers, and as of right now, they're going to be not taking advantage at all of this perfect opportunity. In fact, Renault may end up getting more points than Ferrari because Rusty Neptune has just gone past Morris. Three tenths the gap between that man. We'll go on board with him. He's right behind Rob. 4 tenths. And Morris is going to come out in 10th. He's still going to be picking up a point. I mean, Brenny was flying in 8th. Was almost 7th before he span out. That man just 4 tenths behind Rob. I mean, he might get it on the DRS zone after turn 10. Through turn 11. If he can stay close. Oh, it's not the best exit there. From the Mercedes driver, and he's fallen back to 7 tenths. He will have DRS, and he is caning. 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 4 tenths, but will he have enough to send one on this lap? No, he won't. It's all about patience. Because Rob, went very deep there. Oh, he's right on the back now. He's right on the gearbox of the Haas. The Haas just taking, I think, a cleaner line, and very deep in the Mercedes. And that is going to allow the Haas to get away. In fact, that's going to put him under pressure almost from his teammate. Who's now only just 1.2 seconds behind. And stupendous plays, by the way. Started this race in 15th, or 14th, dead last. Is now 3rd on the podium. Marvin into 8th. The lone McLaren. We'll go on board with Rob, who's just behind Stupendous. 7 tenths off the back, but Rob does indeed have a penalty. Right, Rob was having a little look at him. 4 tenths is the gap. Rob! Oh, he was having a look! Rob had a little look there. 1 tenth. They're going to be side by side. Near enough side by side. Rob will have DRS. And that man is already right back on the back of Rob. This fight is bringing the field very close together. DRS, the wing right wide open. That man right on the back of Rob. Is that man going to get past him in the Mercedes? Not on this occasion. DRS just saving Rob there, but this is a very tense battle for third. This is for third. Espinger just cruising at this point. Oh, Matt Mass almost losing the back end there. On the exit of, what was that, turn 16. And now the long straight, you're going to see the power of the slipstream, the power of DRS. All these cars are in DRS range. Not going to happen here, but within 4 tenths. Oh, wait a minute! Oh, he broke very late. It's quite hard to follow here, but if you can keep it together. Look how close. I mean, all these cars separated by about 1.5 seconds. This is the battle for third. The battle for the final podium spot. Speaking of battling back, though, Darth Morris tried to slip it down the inside on these fresh hards. Marvin's come into the pits. Morris very much out of position in this Ferrari. But we're gonna have to. I have to go back to this because this is the battle for third. Stupendous plays. We're gonna go on board with with that man because he's right in the middle. Nothing gonna happen on this occasion again. In fact, he's gone very deep. Oh, that would have allowed Mass to catch up dramatically. Gonna pull it under 5 tenths. He might be able to. Right, coming up to the DRS zone now. Here is Darth Morris on the back of Marvin. Marvin will have the faster tyres. But Morris has been faster all weekend. Stupendous plays into the pits, which has sent that man through. Espinger down to third. He's also pit on the mediums, perhaps for the one stop. Almost clipped him. Oh! There goes the McLaren off. That's a nice easy overtake. But where will Espinger come out of the pits? He's come out in third. He's got that man ahead of him. Where's Stupendous come out of the pits? Stupendous started 15th and he's currently going to be coming out fighting a Red Bull. Who's disconnected. So Stupendous plays, comes out 5th. Oh, DNF for Marvin. Only 10 runners left, so everyone who finishes will get a point here. We're going to see S-Wingers now on the back of these 10 lap old tyres on that man. One tenth, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. Play it safe though. You don't want to risk messing it up here. And he gets past him. I mean, yeah, Espinger's picking up some solid points here today. Just needs to keep a clean race now. Can't afford any problems. Can't afford any issues. Our race leader is into the pits here, XRF1. I don't think Espinger would have been held up too much there. I mean, net second is who? It wasn't. I think it was XRF1. And he might end up being third. No, that man's into the pits. As is Rusty Neptune, which means I think Stupendous Plays will stay in third place, depending on how quick the Mercedes pit crew is. No, he'll stay third. Will Matt Mass leapfrog Rob for pole? No, he won't. Oh, Matt Mass, though, is ahead. He's come out behind his teammate. I can imagine, Paul. I can imagine. Quite frustrating. Now we're going to see Matt Mass have a chance. That man was behind Rob for, what, like 7 laps? Wasn't able to do anything? Let's see if Matt Mass can do something on these mediums. 7 tenths is the gap. Darth Morris has made it back up to 7th after he had wing damage. 8 tenths is the gap there. 6 tenths, not going to be close enough here, but Matt Mass is going to try and stay close, do what his teammate couldn't. His teammate has almost fallen 2 seconds back. Rotherpole went very wide there, and that is going to give Matt Mass a great run up on him. We're nearing the halfway point of this race. 3 tenths is the gap here between Matt Mass and Rotherpole. Oh, that's upsetting to see a time penalty for stupendous plays, because he's raced such a good race here. That may end up costing him later on. If Matt Mass can just clear Rob, he'll have to just get him. I mean, Matt Mass has also got a penalty, but here we go. There's going to be no braking needed. This is going to be a nice, easy pass. Easy as they come, and into 4th for the Mercedes driver. Very deep into that corner, and that is actually going to allow Rob to maybe have a little run up on him. Not here though. Rob is right behind that Mercedes. 3 tenths is the gap. It'll be Rob's turn to have DRS in just a couple of corners. Oh! There was a collision! Matt Mass and Rob touched! On turn 5! I don't think Matt Mass has any damage, but Rob certainly will. We'll have a look at the front of his car. I think he's got a little bit of wing damage. Yeah, he has, on that right front. And Darth Morris now, and that Ferrari right on the back of the Mercedes driver, and that is going to be an easy overtake. Yeah, moves out of the way, understands. There's going to be a lot of trips to the steward's room after this race, that's for sure. That man into 4th, but he's 7 seconds adrift. Darth Morris is the one out of position right now. Darth Morris, the one out of position, although he's going to have Matt Mass on the back of him. 5 tenths is the gap. Matt Mass maybe might try something into turn 2. 3 tenths, 2 tenths. Oh, he braked himself a little bit, and he's lost a lot of time in doing so. If you can stay within a second and maybe get DRS out of turn 10, there'll be his possibility to stay on the back of Darth Morris, who will leapfrog his teammate here today. There was a point between the 2 Ferrari drivers, but I mean, even if he finishes 6th, that's going to be what, 8 points? So it'll be 7 points adrift off Paul. But this, I mean, a massive missed opportunity for Ferrari today. They could have been fighting for a 1-2 finish, and that would have, you know, well, that would have put them in the lead of the championship. Even a 1-3 finish would have put them in the lead of the championship by 1 point because of this DNF from Kimi. Darth Morris, though, is slowly catching Rob. Might be the car to watch. As I said, he's probably going to the end on those hards. He's definitely going to the end on those hards. I'm wondering why he's gone for the hards over the mediums. Now, I know he had to pit a little early, so perhaps he felt that, you know, those extra 2 laps would have been wearing the mediums too thin. Or does he feel like the mediums will be a 2-stop? We'll have to wait and see. He's certainly got his options open. Only 2 seconds the gap now between 6th and 5th, under 2 seconds. Matt Mass, though, doing well to stay. Now, I'm almost certain Rob for pole has a bit of damage. I mean, you just have to look at the car. Look at the car. He's missing a little bit of that front wing. Maybe it's not enough to be severely damaging to his race. It's probably only a little bit of downforce that he's missing. But he is now lapping slower. Can we get his lap time? His most recent lap. Can't get his most... Well, he can. So we'll have a look. For example, so he's on a 1:17. We'll see what kind of lap he puts together here. He's breaking all the track limits as well. Because Darth Morris is really closing in the gap. So yeah, Rob, with wing damage, pumps together a 1:38. And we'll see what Darth Morris does this lap. Because he's not in DRS yet, so he's not going to get aided by anything. But a 1:38 for Rob for pole. We'll see what Darth Morris does, and we'll see just how much, that wing damage is affecting Rob. Because he's now allowing Darth Morris into DRS range for the second DRS run on the track. Oh, it looks very close. In fact, they both might get past Rob here into P5 and 6. Matt Mass has been riding the slipstream, riding the DRS of that Ferrari, because I don't think he picked up much damage. Maybe to the sideboard. But here comes DRS, the second DRS zone on the circuit, and I'd imagine the Ferrari at least will breeze by, and then Matt Mass might be close. He's not going to breeze by. This is going to have to be we'll have to have a bit about braking. If he goes for a move here, he's not going to go a move on this occasion. In fact, he locks up a little bit. And now he's going to get held up a little bit by Rob, which is going to bring Matt even closer. These three cars within a second of each other. Oh, he's trying it. The Ferrari's going to try it. No, he's into the pits. Finally realising that wing damage is too much. Another little lock-up. Rob was actually going to pick up a 5-second time penalty in the pit lane. And Matt has had a great exit and DRS, and Matt might get past the Ferrari here. Oh no, that does not sound healthy. He's actually lost time. That gearbox doesn't sound overly healthy. He's still 4 tenths behind Morris, but now Morris has been freed. He's now got clear air ahead of him. Whereas Matt Massa is going to have to sit in the dirty air of the Ferrari. Another lock-up by Darth Morris. Those 8-lap old hards. He's not treating them too well, is he? Six tenths is the gap. We're coming up to turn 10. We're coming up to that DRS zone. 10 laps to go here in Russia. And S-Winger has played it very clean. He's done he's done exactly what he's had to do. DRS wide open, 5 tenths, 4 tenths. I think Matt Mass might be having a little look at the Ferrari. 2 tenths is the gap. He's going to try and go up the inside. He's not going to send it this time. Oh, big lock up though might help him. Oh, he's been locking up quite a lot. I don't think, if he keeps locking up like this, those tyres are not going to make it. Another lock up. You're seeing the shot. Well, you just see him locking up. That's why I'm stumbling on my words. 5 tenths is the gap here. 4.5 tenths. He looked like he was right behind him. He's lost a bit of time on the exit, but now he's got that slipstream. Darth Morris punching a hole in the air ahead of him. And I think this will be a nice clean one. Yeah, he's got past him. Used DRS. Made it clean. And Matt Mass up to 5th. He does have a penalty though. What is the penalty? What kind of time is Matt Mass going to be looking to make? 6 seconds. Not going to be easy because he's still got Darth Morris right on the back of him. Yellow flags in Sector 2. Yellow flags in Sector 2. That's Stupendous Plays. Stupendous Plays has had a bit of a spin. Has he got damage? Stupendous Plays has gone off the track. He's missing the front left. He's missing his front wing. No, he started 15th. He's up into a podium place, and he's lost his front wing with 8 laps to go. Gonna be easy pickings now for the Mercedes, who's gonna punch his way into that podium. Look how wide he has to go. And that man back into up into third. That's upsetting for Stupendous. That's going to push Matt Mass also up to 4th, and Darth Morris back to 5th. And I wonder where Stupendous is going to come out. This is a great race for him. Will he come out behind his teammate, I wonder? Because his teammate was catching him before his teammate suffered from wing damage. So I'm very interested to see where they come out. Morris is going to have a little look into that first braking zone. Goes very deep, locks up. And that allows Matt Mass right back past him. Where is Stupendous Plays coming out? Well, that's not who I was looking at. Stupendous Plays. Is he coming out ahead of Rob? He stays ahead of Rob. Maybe. Just about ahead of Rob. 4 tenths is the gap. And that's the second again. So the closest fight on the field right now is Darth Morris. But we've got to take a second because he has been so dominant. He hasn't had much camera on him today. He had a hard ask of him. Keep it clean at the start, stay in the lead. He kept both the Ferraris behind him. He kept the championship leader behind him. And now with 7 laps to go, he's 13 seconds clear up the road of the Racing Point in second. And it looks like Esswinger may close that gap down from 63 points. Well, he's got the fastest lap as well. So from 63 points down to 37 points. And really bring himself back into the table, back into the fold. It has been an interesting race. I had 2 cars DNF on before the first corner, before the first braking zone. But now it's looking like Esswinger will be cruising to victory, although Darth Morris is back in the DRS range of Matt Mass. I wonder if he can. I don't think he'll be able to secure a podium at this point. Although Matt Mass does have penalties. So Morris will actually be ahead of Mass. Just due to the penalties. Stupendous is now behind Brenny as well. Point that out, although he's catching his teammate. Oh, and a time penalty for that man might bring Darth Morris back into the podium places. Hello, Lindsay. Vorno is such a lovely driver. Let me tell you something. I was rooting for Vorno on Monday. Had his highest qualifying position of the season in EMS. And he broke my heart when he crashed out. It was so tragic. But hello, Lindsay. We'll go on board, though, with Darth Morris. Because this is quite an interesting situation we've got here. Because both Datman and Matt Mass have penalties. Now, let's see. So, Matt Mass is 6 seconds. So, he's definitely clear. Now, Matt Mass has just kind of got to keep the Ferrari behind him as long as he can. To essentially help his teammate. Because his teammate has a 3 second. And as of right now, Darth Morris is within 3 seconds. And Darth Morris will end up on the podium. Look how close these two cars are. Coming into turn 7 now. He'll want to try and get past him in the next DRS zone, I'd imagine. I mean, he's not going to want to take it by penalties. I'm sure he'd much rather finish ahead on track, but Stupendous Plays, by the way, also ahead of his teammate, and he's actually right on the back of Rusty Neptune. We'll get to that in a minute because I don't want to miss this in case there is an overtake into the braking zone. Big look up, they almost touch. And Stupendous Plays, I did miss it. He must have cut a corner because he's got another penalty for it. He's got a 6-second time penalty, which is going to bring his teammate Brenny into the fold, I should say. But Stupendous Plays started 15th. He was running in 3rd before he broke his front wing. And he's back up to 6th. What a drive from him. But Darth Morris ahead of Matt Mass now. The Ferrari finally getting that position back. But Matt Mass only 2 tenths back on much fresher tyres. Not much fresher, but 3 lap younger. Although those mediums are... Will they last as long as the hards? We'll have to wait and see. Rob for pole also closing in on Brenny. 3 tenths is the gap between Rob for pole and Brenny. Darth Morris fighting to get back on that podium. He has got it because that man has got a 3-second time penalty, so he will end up on the podium anyway. But let's see if he can get it on track. 7 tenths is the gap. The DRS is wide open. You see that rear wing. 5 tenths is the gap. I don't know if he'll be close enough on this occasion. He's not. I know, and he's locked up so much, but what a recovery drive by Morris. Oh. Hello. That's me. What a recovery drive by Morris. But, I mean, imagine where he could be if he hadn't crashed. And same with Toddy. That's what I'm saying. It's a huge missed opportunity for Ferrari today. They're second in the Constructors. Kimi DNF'd on the first lap, so they knew they should have played it safe. It seemed like Toddy had technical issues which caused him to retire. And then Darth Morris just didn't play it safe, I guess. Just lost control, broke his front wing. But he is now wheel to wheel with that Mercedes, and he's into 3rd. Although it goes a little deep, I think the Mercedes will have a better exit. You see him in that wing mirror. But no, yeah, it looks like Morris has indeed got the position. But now, it will be a battle between teammates. We'll watch the onboard from that man who has been slower than Matt Mass today. Only reason Matt Mass is behind him right now is because he got shunted by Rob. He's not too far away from Morris. In fact, he's going to get DRS, which might just about save him from an overtake. In fact, he might even get the overtake back on the Ferrari. It's not done just yet. Not on this occasion, though. Looks like Morris is being controlled by the AI right now. Oh, he's back. He's back. Just in time. Oh my god, my controller. What's happening here? It's plugged in. That's a weird one, isn't it? What's happening here? It's plugged in. That's weird. I'll plug in my Elite controller then. I'll flex. There we go. I don't know what's happening there. I guess my controller's broken. Anyway, we're back. I think my controller might be broken. That's a shame. That man going to fall out of DRS range on Morris this time. The DRS won't be there to save him. He needs to stay within a second under that detection zone, but I don't think he's going to make it. And that means Matt Mass is going to be right on the back of them in DRS. Stupendous is also, I want to point this out, catching up. I know it's 12 seconds still. It's not going to really happen in 2 laps. But this is going to be the battle for 4th. I believe they both have the same amount of penalties. Ah, no, Matt Mass is going to have to clear him by 3 seconds. I mean, it's possible, I guess. Can Matt Mass get the overtake done here? No, he can't. He's run out of opportunities because he's going to have to create a 3-second gap after getting the overtake done. There's still time for drama here. 6 tenths is the gap between these two teammates. Yeah, Stupendous is catching. 10 seconds now. Oh, much better exit. A much better exit for Matt Mass. Is going to see the Mercedes driver take past his teammate for sure. His teammate defending quite hard. He might not get it, actually. Tried to squeeze him. He's not going to get it. I'm surprised there. He had such a better exit. And now he's almost a second back. Rob for pole is also in DRS range of Rusty Neptune on much fresher tyres. In fact, do we look at that for a moment? He doesn't get it here. We'll come back to it when they get to the DRS zone, because right now Matt Mass is 3 tenths back on his teammate coming up to the DRS zone. Oh! And his teammate just got a penalty, so now they're equal on penalty time. And it's whoever finishes ahead will get that 4th place. And Rob for pole might very well get the overtake done on Rusty Neptune. Is very close. Oh! Collision into the wall! Oh no! That man DNF'd! A retirement! A collision! As Matt Mass got wing damage, he's got massive wing damage! Stupendous plays! Might still have a chance! Stupendous plays might still be able to get 4th! Rob for pole in 7th! A collision between teammates! This is going to have huge stipulations for the final couple of laps. This man has got a lap and a half to gain 8 seconds on a man with no front wing. He's going to gain a lot of time here. Teammates touch! And there was a collision. He's got a second just on that corner alone. Will he be able to do it? S-Swinger's on his final lap of the race. Five seconds is the gap. Oh my god. This is going to be tight. Oh, it might not even be. I think he might get him maybe on the DRS zone on lap 27. Four seconds between Stupendous Plays and Matt Mass. I mean, yeah, of course, if he'd have pit, he definitely would have lost the position. So I guess this was probably the right thing to do. Rob for pole, still 13 seconds back. He's not going to catch Mass. He might have if Mass had pit. 2 seconds is now the gap. There's just 2 seconds between them. I hope the overtake doesn't happen as our race leader crosses the finish line, because I don't want to miss that, but it might. I'm going to have to go back to our race leader in just a moment. 1.7 seconds is the gap between Stupendous Plays and Matt Mass, but this man has led the race from lap 1 and is now going to cross the line and close that gap between himself and Kimi Raikkonen. But Matt Mass is in big trouble here. That gap going down from 63 to 37 points, and that's going to be an easy overtake for Stupendous Plays. Oh, it might not be. No, it is. It is an easy overtake. And in second place, a solid race from him. I mean, where did he start? Coming around turn 17. He started 7th. And he set the fastest lap. He's taken it away from Esswinger. So it'll be 38-point gap, not 37-point gap. XRF1 on the final lap of the race. Stolen that fastest lap. And Darth Morris also finishes. And Stupendous Plays has got to be driver of the day, I think. Well, actually, no. The driver of the day has got to be Esswinger. It would have been Stupendous Plays had he not got himself into that crash, because he would have finished 3rd. But he's finishing 4th. Matt Mass finishing 5th. Rob going to come home 6th. And then Rusty, her Neptune coming home 7th. Oh, but the time penalties. We have to see the time penalties. That might have changed a lot. Yeah, Rusty's going to finish 7th. The game certainly thinks Stupendous Plays as driver of the day. Certainly a strong argument for that, just because he did start last and finish 4th. But our race winner today, Esswinger, accompanied by XRF1 Rog and Darth Morris with a great fight back through the field. The gap has been closed. Our championship leader came into this race with a 63-point lead. And he's now got a 37-point lead, 38-point lead. It would have been 37, but XRF1 snatched that fastest lap. As far as the constructor standings go, not much changes. Ferrari could have taken the opportunity today to really close the gap. They still closed the gap somewhat. With 15 points in favour of Darth Morris, although Rusty Neptune would have picked up a few points in 7th. Picked up 6, so they only really closed it by 9 points. Stupendous Plays with a great result. Could have finished 3rd. What a race. I'm sure there will be a lot of trips to the steward's office. There was some insane moments in that race, but what a great Grand Prix we have here in round 11. I can't wait for round 12 and our trip to, what's next? Japan. But until then, I'll see you all later. What a stream. What a race. And what a win for Esswinger. It couldn't have gone any better for him, other than maybe if he had taken the fastest lap. But you know what? If you said to Esswinger at the start of the weekend, or the start of the race day, you're gonna gain 25 points on Kimi, I think he would have taken it. You're not gonna be too upset about missing out on the 26th. But peace out, and I'll see you next week.